I'm by far not an expert on generators, but since we've had multiple power outages, several day power outages in the last year or so, the most recent being 2 days ago, ending 2 days ago, I have learned some things about generators I thought I'd share with you. Of course, there's people who know way more, but this is just my laywoman's take on the whole thing. First of all, know what size generator you're going to need based on what your wants are for the generator. I want to give you an example. A friend of mine during this latest power outage sent me a picture of a generator she was thinking of getting from Amazon. It was, I think, 300 watts or something like that. And she said, oh, I'm thinking of getting this generator. So I asked her what her power needs were. And she said, well, she wanted to run a hot plate and this, that, and the other. And I said, you know, this generator does not have the power you need for that. Back to the drawing board, I think a hot plate draws like 900 watts. And I even advised her, I said, instead of a hot plate, why don't you just get a propane camp stove? And you have to look at the wattages and what you're planning to run before you go out and buy a generator, because you want to make sure the generator you buy is going to service your needs. Now, there are people who have whole house generators that run the entire house. As soon as the power goes out, they kick in. I don't know what the strength of those are and how much of the house they can run, but they certainly can take over most of the duties. However, they're very expensive, so you're going to have to probably compromise on how much of the house you want to actually run. Eddie and I have two small generators that we've kind of decided to prioritize on what we want to run, and those work just fine. We decided that basically I just want to top off the refrigerators and the freezer. We can warm up water, you know, run a frying pan, run my small microwave. That is sufficient for us, for our needs. We don't need to heat the house. I don't have any massive electrical needs here. Basically just the refrigerator to keep the food I've invested in cold and keep it from spoiling, and then to have a means of cooking. So those were our priorities, and our small generator works just fine for that. One thing we discovered the first year that we had a power outage and that we had to plug in our appliances, our refrigerators, is the positioning of the cords. My refrigerator and the freezer both have cords that plug into the wall that's easily accessible to then plug into a generator. However, Eddie's refrigerator, the plug of the refrigerator is behind the refrigerator. So in order to plug the generator into his refrigerator, he had to get a dolly, a heavy duty dolly, and pull the refrigerator out so he could access the cord and then plug it into the cord that went to the generator. This was a lot of work, and I decided I have to redo the electric in both our cabins, so it made me realize that one of my priorities was going to be having positioning of cords and a plug so that appliances and stuff like that can be accessed fast and easily instead of being stuck behind your appliance. And finally, know what your generator needs to run. Ours needs gas, but it also needs a couple other fluids to keep it running smoothly. Eddie generally takes care of that, but truthfully, I need to learn how to take care of that too. So now that we finished with the power outage, one of the things I'm going to do now that we're in a little less of a panic is to really look at the generator and figure out what I need to do in case there's an emergency like this and no one is home, or at least Eddie's home. Let's put it this way, make sure that I know what to do in case nobody useful is home, only myself. And of course, generators have to be outside of the house. Ours is in the driveway. And you also want to have a power cord that is appropriately sized for the generator and for your appliance. So don't think that you can just plug a little tiny extension cord into the generator and then to your refrigerator and expect that to work. Make sure that your cords and everything is proportionate to what you want to do, and have those ready and all together in case of an emergency when you do have to run your generator. So that's pretty much my take on generators. Again, it's not all all-inclusive or all-knowledgeable, but it's certainly what I've learned in the last year or so since we've had to pull out the generator multiple times to run our house during power outages. Hopefully you won't ever have to do that, but I also hope that if you do, these tips have helped you. Thank you so much for watching.